All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here for a special Wednesday episode of the Big Go Belt Wrestling Podcast. 2 Chainz here, along with the good fella Jamal. What's going on?
Not much.
Rest of the crew going to be jumping in later on. I'm guessing prior obligations, but I got the message saying it was coming, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, Wednesday episode today because we're shifting the schedule a little bit because this is a busy week for us. So today we'll be talking about all things in the wrestling world, WWE products, news, rumors, and of course, do we care? Tomorrow we'll have a special guest interview with Rayo, so that should be cool. And then Friday, Nova Pro, the kickoff show, pumpkin slice spice. Hilarious. It never rolls off my tongue correctly. Should be a sellout show. Make sure you get those tickets. We will be there. For the people who's always asking, are we going? We're always going. We will be there. I press if 1, 2, or 3 or 4, somebody will be there. Okay, so Big O Belt will be representing. So catch us at the door. Catch us on our YouTube live. We'll be shooting it off on the Nova Pros YouTube channel. We'll do some Periscope action. So, we're around. We're making our channels. Definitely check out that interview last week with Jordan Grace. Absolutely amazing, fun. She's a blast. Cannot wait to see her come Friday.
Yeah.
And, of course, we'll be officially sponsoring that match, which she will be taking on Fred Yehi, which should be, and it's their first time ever wrestling. And she brought up a great point, which I'm really still shocked at too, that this may be his first intergender match. I have not researched it, but I'm pretty sure, I'm confident if she said it's never happened, then that's what it is. So I look forward to seeing that. So yeah. By the way, I sound like crap. I'm a little bit sick. I think Jamal's a little bit sick. I think everybody's a little bit sick. And if you have any clue how all of us are mysteriously kind of sick, if you've never been in the DMV area, for anybody who listens, I know we have like a nice significant following in England. So when I say DMV, I'm talking about the capital of Washington, D.C. and the surrounding states surrounded. But as weird as it gets, this area is bipolar. We had and Jamal is so good at everything. I know he's gonna be able to convert this off the top for me. We had about 75 degrees Fahrenheit on Saturday, which is about what Celsius?
Mid to low 20s, 23, something like that.
And I believe Sunday we got to about did Sunday rain? Forget.
No, I was out playing Pokemon on Sunday. It didn't rain. And then, I sat through that BS TLC, and it didn't rain then. So if it did rain, it was overnight.
That's right. Actually, and then like Monday, I'm sorry. I'm getting my days confused. Then Tuesday, there was like tornado watches in certain areas, a lot of rain, temperature down. It was cold on Monday. I mean, we went from like 74, we went from like 77 to maybe like the 70s to like 60s, 50s. It's just all over the place. So bipolar weather.
Meanwhile, it's 105 in Los Angeles. I think like at first pitch it was 95, which is like in the mid 30s Celsius. So yeah, the country is sweltering right now, and it's October, and it's usually not this. It's about, I would say, 10 to 15 degrees above average here.
Yeah. It's all over the place, dude. It's crazy.
What global warming? It doesn't exist.
Global warming. Somebody doesn't believe that's the thing, but I'm not going to name drop that person.
It doesn't exist.
So anyway, what's going on in the movie world?
Well, speaking of global warming, I saw Geostorm, which opened up last weekend.
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
So, it's the best Sci-Fi Channel movie I've seen in years. The movie did so terribly at the box office that it's rumored that Paramount is going to lose around $110 million from this movie. Right. Basically, Gerard Butler plays a guy that built a satellite net around the Earth to shoot down hurricanes and other disasters. In the trailer, you see a giant tidal wave or tsunami that runs over Dubai in the UAE. Last time I checked, that's an underground thing, which has nothing to do with the weather. But what do I know? The special effects were kind of cool, but the movie's trash. I wouldn't even, like, if you got that Kodi TV app, go ahead and fire that up for 2 hours. I mean, but it's not even going to go number one on Kodi.
And if you don't got that Kodi app, make sure you go to your local barbershop because you know your bag will come in there.
I wouldn't even buy it though. I was just watching at the barbershop. Don't get your haircut. Just watch it at the barbershop.
Hey, you know what's funny about that? When the barbershop guy got his portable DVD player and he was like, "Oh, you want to see how clear it is? I can show it to you right now."
I never go to that guy. Never. Only the Brave is pretty good. It's about the firefighters in Arizona that basically we follow them around for a fire season. It's a hell of a story. The big movie opening up this weekend, of course, is Jigsaw, which I have not seen, and I don't plan on it. But also Suburbicon starring Matt Damon. It's just not a good movie. I wanted to like it more than I should have because of reasons that, and I don't want to give away the plot any, but matinee is probably what it's worth. Yeah, I wouldn't spend no more than $10 on it. But it's been a really slow month for the movies. Cool. But as we get into November, Thor comes out.
Picks up. Yeah.
Yes. Justice League comes out the 15th, which is trash. And
Thor.
Trash. But there are a couple other things that are of interest. But as far as the wrestling goes, it's actually going to be a pretty interesting month. On November 17th, Ring of Honor has they have a show in San Antonio the night of the NXT show, which is going to feature Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee. That, of course, is the night before Survivor Series, or the night before NXT TakeOver. And then Ring of Honor is going to be in Dallas. So if you're in Texas, it's going to be a big November for you. Also, Wrestle Kingdom tickets go on sale right now. So if you're looking to plunk down about $120 for the most expensive tickets, US, what are you doing January 4th? Might have to go to the Tokyo Dome. But or wake up at 2:30 in the morning and watch it at NewJapanWorld.com. But yeah, it's been a hell of a month. November coming up. I really can't wait to see what's up. And Survivor Series, I didn't see Raw, and you're gonna have to fill me in on this, but is it just being overblown? Where I hear people so very skeptical about how Survivor Series is shaking out.
Oh no, let's talk about TLC a little bit first off.
Okay.
I thought TLC, and I legitimately watched the whole pay-per-view, and I enjoyed it. There was a time where I had to go split screen when Enzo came on, and I started watching Walking Dead, and then the later end of the Walking Dead was the AJ Styles Finn Balor match. But overall, Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox, I can dig it. That's cool. Alicia Fox made a campaign. She's relevant now. I'm not gonna say relevant. I mean, she has a storyline. She has purpose. She's crazy, right. Alicia Fox. She has a shirt. She did what she did, and she's going against one of the top.
She has a shirt.
Yeah, she does.
What?
That quick.
What a time to be alive.
Right. Going against Sasha Banks instead of Dana Brooke. So that's good. I can get with that. So solid match. I think they had it booked at 11 minutes when I was looking earlier. So good for them. Asuka made her debut. Now I tweeted this, and I firmly believe this still to stand true. Before, I'm sorry, I tweeted this before this match, and I stand firm that this was absolutely the outcome of this match. But the Asuka versus Emma match, the winner of this match was Emma, as far as the display of what she can do in the ring. I think she's been having.
That's the problem, though. I mean, that's really the problem. If you don't watch NXT and you don't know who she is, then if you're going to build her up as an absolute monster, if she really is going to transform into Asuka Berg and body, it doesn't really mean anything if Michael Cole says that she has, like a 500-year reign as NXT Women's Champion, and then puts on a good a technically sound, a good like 10-minute long match with Emma when she's supposed to be this like Brock Lesnar isn't going to be built as Brock Lesnar and then come out and put on like a 15-minute long match with Finn Balor. That dude with his bare hands in 90 seconds.
Well, I'm glad it didn't get booked that way because Emma doesn't deserve that. Number one, she is top tier in talent in the women's division, and it was a good match. They definitely were not familiar with each other in the beginning, but they grew very comfortable throughout the match. I thought the match was just really well worked, and I think that's
the problem.
I'm giving praise to Emma for sticking in there. It's what I'm saying, because the crowd wasn't behind her. Not that commentary plays a part in what she does in the ring, but from a viewer or fan perspective, they really didn't give her a chance. Except for Corey Graves, he's the only person that really acknowledged that NXT is a thing. But it was a well sound match to me, and Asuka made a great debut, no doubt.
I agree with all of those things, and I agree that it was a good match. It was a fun match. It was an entertaining match. But this is not. If this is Asuka's debut, I mean that's the thing. That's if they're booking her as this she-beast that's going to run through the complete women's division. If the saying is no one is ready for Asuka, if they went 10 minutes and it was actually pretty close, and if Emma, who is a person that's barely relevant, and nearly pull it out, then who's to say that somebody better than Emma shouldn't beat Asuka? And that's kind of like the stigma that we have here. If they were booking Emma better as a stronger opponent, then I would say, yeah, they should go, what's the name? But I liken it to Damian Sandow versus John Cena. One of the first times they met, not for the Money in the Bank, but Damian Sandow versus John Cena, the commentators were like, what the hell has gotten to Sandow? He thinks he can win this match because he's being booked as a joke. And it's John Cena. So when they went, a good solid 8 minutes with like some decent chain wrestling and put on a decent match, it's kind of like, oh, well, who knew he had this in him? Why don't we see more of that? And I think that's the problem with Emma. I think it does more harm than good for both of them by having Emma, not being, elevated correctly, because no matter what, she still lost. So she can, so what if you, score 50 points in the game if you lose? So what if you had a good competitive match versus Asuka if you lose? And even if she goes 500-0 over the next 2.5 years, her first win will be over Emma, no matter what. Yeah. So there are ways to elevate, both women. I think that they should have just had her just come out and squash her or knock her out. I honestly think that an actual KO from that spinning back fist that Asuka does, if she just flat out knocked Emma out, that would have been like oh Jesus, she's not playing. This is a woman to watch. My God, she killed her.
I mean, she had, first of all, Asuka worked this match in a way that I haven't seen her work a match maybe since her match with Bayley. She was very, very quick on her feet with her submissions. She definitely looked very MMA-ish. Obviously she has the background, but her counters and stuff was on point. Like I forgot what Emma did, but when she swung her around with that arm drag to the ground,
right,
it was impressive. So, but no, I agree. And if it had been anybody else, like Bayley, for instance, or Sasha, somebody who can't lose theme, absolutely squashed. But it's just like, what's the point of putting Emma or instating her into the main picture just for her to be the first victim? In other words, it's almost like, well, Bobby Roode's been pretty dominant in NXT, goes against Dolph Ziggler because Dolph Ziggler seems to be the doormat for all new superstars.
Right.
And Dolph Ziggler doesn't have anything going on right now. So you put him against one of the hottest people to come up from NXT, and you let Bobby Roode just squash him, and then Dolph is still just doing Dolph things. Same thing with Bray Wyatt.
Well, Wyatt and Ziggler are two outliers because their booking makes 0 sense, period. I just do think that Emma, on her most recent run, if you swap out Emma for Bailey or Emma for Nia Jax or Emma for Sasha Banks, that competitive match where Asuka pulls out a win makes a lot more sense. But for a person that's kind of on the bottom of the pecking order versus Emma or Alicia Fox or Dana Brooke or whoever the hell, if it's Asuka versus Mickie James, that competitive match makes a lot of sense because that's how they're both being booked. The perception is she's better. But if Emma can go 10 minutes with Asuka, why can't she beat other people?
Yeah.
So that's the problem with that. But you know what? It obviously has to play out, and the fans do have to get acclimated to Asuka. I think the biggest thing will be her ability to cut promos.
Yeah,
Asuka tried to go heel in NXT, but she was just so loved that it didn't work.
You know, she got a better reception than I believe Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura got on the main roster.
True. Unfortunately, though, I think that when Balor came out and he showed what the demon was before he ever made his in-ring debut.
I mean, I'm not even talking about that, but yeah.
That took the wind out of the sails, though. I mean, if you didn't know who he was and he just showed up with a small-ass jacket, transformed.
Even the demon didn't even get a good reception, but hey, what do I know?
Like, oh, that's it? Okay, well. And then you have Nakamura, where again they didn't book him as like this, as just another guy, the artist or whatever the hell that means. Like, okay, but Aiden English is also the artist. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I mean, whatever.
Right. So right, exactly, whatever. That's part of the problem.
I heard that, so I heard it, and then I saw it on Twitter. I was just like, I'm going to let that one go. But anywho, nonetheless, just to get down to the rest of this card, we did have the cruiserweight match with Cedric Alexander, Rich Swann, versus Jack Gallagher, and Brian Kendrick. I mean, the only thing to bring about on this match is that maybe this is the takeoff for Cedric. He had one hell of a performance. It seemed to all be centric around him. He got the hot tag. I'm just happy for the guy that he's doing something. He's healthy. He's moving good. Cruiserweight division got a good reception. I will say that. This match got a good reception. I will say that. Overall, I thought it was an okay match. This Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. I mean, I'm just still not so on this Bliss.
Speech?
Huh? Yeah. Like what?
Retirement speech?
I mean, okay. First of all, Alexa Bliss DDT being her finisher, like I'm not sold, not at all. Mickie James gave a retirement sort of speech with some tears, but she came out on Raw, so it's cool. But I was a little bit worried because that's the way she's going to go out. Like, come on, WWE, screw yourself with the booking. It took you all this time to give her a shot to make her relevant. Right. And then the booking was to book her about being the old woman. Like, huh? First of all, she's not even one of the oldest people in WWE. She's in her 30s, right? But you got plenty of people who's your top talent in their 40s.
Oh, yeah.
Enzo versus Kalisto. Who cares?
Yep.
Comments?
Yeah, let's go ahead and skip that one.
Yeah. AJ Styles. Now, AJ Styles and Finn Balor. It is absolutely the match that everybody raved about.
Tears.
First of all, I have to say AJ Styles gets huge kudos for the traveling he's done to get there. I mean, it's been well documented because traveling is a real thing, takes a toll on your body no matter what. But to have to do it, wrestle, plane, then wrestle. I mean, legitimately, that's a huge thing. And he's 40 years old at that. I know it's his job, you can say that, but he's 40-year-old being a full-time and John Cena's 40 being part-time. They brought Lesnar's 40 too, also being part-time. And he's doing traveling on a hey, we need somebody to step up type of thing real quick. You got to give him his props there. Everybody that's suffering from the viral meningitis spread that's going on, speedy recovery. Huh? Yeah. I'm just getting at that. Speedy recovery. But Jesus has this been some of the best booking.
No. Not a speedy recovery. Take as long as you need. Because the fact that we have Mickey James is 38, by the way, but by the fact that we don't have Bray Wyatt and we don't have Roman Reigns on TV, that actually boosted overnight, almost seemingly overnight, stock of the pay-per-view tenfold. And I think that regardless of what you think of both of them, volumes as to how their perception is. I was not planning on watching TLC, and then all of a sudden I look at my computer and it says it's going to be AJ Styles versus Finn Balor, and like, wait, what? Now I'm somewhat interested. Unfortunately, the match wasn't good, but I'm still interested. Now, when I say it wasn't good, I don't mean necessarily like it just like was trash. It was like the Great Khali versus Rikishi. No, but
I mean, I would say this, that the spectacle of it was also that they pulled the trigger on this. They worked good together to never have worked together for real. But is it the best they could have done? No. Will it be considered match of the year candidate? No. But I enjoyed it. Well, I enjoyed it.
Good. I mean, they're good, and that's the point.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right about ratings. Like, the relevancy of that pay-per-view went from to like what's going on here?
Right.
So,
meningitis for the win.
Yeah, meningitis for the win.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Oh man, the Young Bucks, man, who knows what they're thinking on this one? They might got something up their sleeve for that. Jason Jordan and Elias Sampson. First of all, this match should have been before the AJ Styles Finn Balor match, as these two matches should have filled that 9 o'clock hour to compete with The Walking Dead and any other shows that debuted at 9 o'clock, because that's their tough hour. And people can say what they want, but that's all about what Enzo's booking has been. Put him in the spots to compete with other things on TV, if it's not Monday Night Football or a show. So, that's what the strange, all around why they're getting the closing hour. Blah, blah, blah,
I don't understand about Jason Jordan and Elias Sampson. In a world where hunger and, for men and women and children, food shortages, drought, where that's prevalent, and it may not be everywhere. It may not be as visible as you think. But somebody right now is either sweltering on the streets and hungry, cold and hungry, just plain old dirtball ass poor. And to see a man come out with a shopping cart full of unwrapped produce and toss it at a person as a joke is at best in poor taste. At worst, it's a total dick move. And then that sets up the match. I mean, they could have done anything else.
Yeah.
Literally anything else. To get that done, and they decided to go that route. And it's very unfortunate that that's the road that they took. And the match was whatever it was. I mean, nobody's going to deny that Jason Jordan has all of the talent in the world. But this is the same thing that we saw on NXT before he got teamed up with Chad Gable.
Yeah.
There is no reason to watch this guy.
I'm sorry, I'm not feeling it.
I like Jason Jordan as a wrestler. I like, but as far as his gimmick, he is a red bone Apollo Crews. And that's like, super unfortunate. And they tried to do the thing with Kurt Angle, and that's his illegitimate son, father, or whatever. But that type of storyline is 50 years too late. And then, it just doesn't make sense. So the whole thing with Gable as like these pure wrestling underdogs type thing is Gable was, I'm going to go out on a limb and say he was going to be the next like folk hero like Daniel Bryan. Maybe Jordan should have turned on Gable. Maybe Gable should have turned on Jordan and then jumped ship and gone to Raw. Something else other than where we are now, because Jason Jordan by himself just not working for me.
Yep, agreed. So with some last minute changes to this 3-on-5 matches match, we had Roman Reigns unable to perform that night.
Thank God.
Thus, Kurt Angle made his in-ring debut. I'm sorry, in-ring return after 15 years or something. First of all, I don't even know what happened during this match, but Kurt Angle absolutely hilarious.
Well, first of all, let me just again shout out the real MVP, Viral Meningitis. I like what you're doing there. Keep it up, goddammit. You are. Not all heroes wear capes, so I'm looking at you, Viral Meningitis, and I thank you.
I just want to hear. I just want to hear what your take on Kurt Angle is. I mean, you know, the guy, age, sure, he worked indie matches beforehand, so yeah, I know he can work matches still. He looked pretty nervous. He looked nervous, but very happy. Well received. Him coming out in the Shield gear, absolutely hilarious. Get that new Shield gear DLC in the WWE 2K18 community because you know they wasted no time creating that. And yeah, he performed off his finishers. He started to pick up momentum towards the end of the match, but this match, complete utter chaos. And Braun Strowman, I mean, this guy's supposed to be like a monster. Yeah, I done seen him die more times than I've seen anybody die. So if he ain't a cat among men and have 9 lives, I don't know what he is because he got put in the garbage compactor, and I've never seen anybody ever return from that.
Yeah, by all counts, like Strowman should be dead many times over. With that said, though, the match itself, I just didn't care for. It was a little bit just all over the place. You know, Kurt Angle wrestling again. He really didn't do much, and that was actually probably the most disappointing. It wasn't that Kurt Angle put on this great, match that evokes the memories of WrestleMania 19, where he versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Or with the milk truck deal, where he sprays the corporate. It doesn't give you that sense. He really didn't do much, and then he gets carted off to the back. Spends about 10 minutes in the back, and then makes his grand return. And then, gets off a couple of finishers, and then we go home.
Yeah. That's
not the Kurt Angle that I was looking forward to seeing. Him coming out with as the Shield, who looks like the obvious police officer that has successfully infiltrated the drug game. He looks like a narc. He absolutely looks like a narc. And he's going to be shot in the face because somebody's, I smell rat. And yep, Kurt Angle's definitely a narc.
Yeah.
When he came back out, I was kind of hoping that he would have had a wardrobe change and got into his singlet. That would have been kind of cool instead of hobbling out like an old man selling the injuries.
Anybody? I mean, did Jason Jordan not? Why didn't he come out? I mean, him interference. It's a no DQ match.
Well, it's weird that it's 5-on-3 or 5-on-3 the match. And it's weird that Jason Jordan had no involvement in the match at all.
Yeah,
they could have at least made it 5-on-4.
He had to throw vegetables.
Well, he had to go to Whole Foods to buy and waste all of the vegetables.
Yeah.
Just what a weird match. And
him calling for the Shield bomb, I was so done. I'm so glad it went off right after that. Because when he did the Roman Reigns impersonation, I just couldn't have any more of WWE for the night.
Well, absolutely. I think it'll be interesting to see if the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, if they have any thing to say about the use of the word Olympic so many times over during the telecast. They definitely called it the Olympic Slam, or not the Angle Slam. They definitely called it the Olympic Shield Bomb or whatever the hell. And WWE got in trouble before.
Really?
Yeah, way back when, because the Olympic Committee said, no, stop doing that.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, when Angle first came out, he used to come out with his medals. And and they were like Olympic medals. And I think like the first time he came out with a very good replica of the Olympic medals, and they did the whole bit. And the International Olympic Committee said, "Stop doing that. We're non-for-profit. You can't make money off of this." So I thought that would be interesting to know if anything comes of that. Probably not. But the match itself was just one giant fustercluck, and I really, really, really didn't care for it.
Yeah.
It was just a weird match. But you know what? It wasn't involving Roman Reigns, so I'm okay with that. And shout out to the real MVP, Viral Meningitis.
It's crazy how it has to take something drastic like that. You know what? It was like a contingency plan on steroids. They said, "Oh my God, I got Roman Reigns not here. We have to do something major finally," and they did it.
Well, I mean, now the question really is, what do? How do you insert the guys that haven't been there? Do you restart Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor? Do you have the Pumpkin King come back?
I mean, it's easy for him because AD always does the mysterious. Oh, why is he here? You know, but they Kane is relevant right now or in the storyline.
He goes away very short.
Hey, did anybody forget that Kane was also called Demon Kane? Because they didn't mention that one time. I was just wondering whether they were going to draw a parallel to that, but that wasn't the thing. But yeah, whatever. But anyway, just to transition from this a little bit. Nonetheless, I thought the pay-per-view was good, one of the better pay-per-views for the year. And for the last-minute changes they made, it worked for them in time management. They could have did better. But I can live with it. I definitely can. But I want to say, moving forward, we'll talk about Raw, SmackDown, both together. We'll just jump around all over here. Survivor Series is building up. Kurt Angle flat out came out and announced half the matches for it. So title versus title from each card. I'm gonna go reverse here, and we're gonna have the Miz versus Baron Corbin. So that's it. Your IC versus your US. Heel versus heel. I'm very curious about that. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus the Usos. Probably going to be match of the night if you ask me. Alexa Bliss versus Natalya. I probably don't care about this. And Jinder Mahal, who actually called out Brock Lesnar on last week to face him at Survivor Series, and then they said, "Oh, he's going to respond on Raw," but then Kurt Angle said, "Yeah, it's going to happen." I'm sorry, I didn't like that booking. I just wanted to see what you guys think on that. I would have rather Brock Lesnar or Paul Heyman came out to decide if it was worth it or not, because to Paul Heyman's promo, pretty much said that Jinder Mahal wasn't the champion or isn't the person to make a call like that.
When did Survivor Series become Night of Champions?
That's a good question. That's a very good
because
question.
You got me there.
You have all of these title versus title matches, but none of them are actually up for grabs. It would be interesting to see if some title changes hands. We get a ladder match up there. If you can pull down both titles, you win both belts. That could have some people flip-flop. I mean, there are a lot of interesting things that you can do there. But just to say for brand supremacy, really?
Krabby, let me ask you this question. At this point, if you branded the shows in Raw vs. SmackDown, and my apologies, guys, for coming on late, had an emergency work meeting that came up right at 8 o'clock. Let me ask this. Is it a point to have any more unified titles now at this point?
Well, Mr. Shirley Sellis, let me say this. If I wish the two brands were a little bit more far apart, a little bit more separate.
Yep.
Because it doesn't feel like it feels like Raw and SmackDown are in the American League and the National League or the Eastern and Western Conference.
Yeah.
In that, you may see them, and because they advertise so much on the other show and all that good stuff, it's not like any different. SmackDown still feels like the B show. Raw still feels like the A show.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of which one is better. So I do wish that the shows were a bit more segregated. With that said, I really don't know, what you do. Like with Survivor Series, I know the big Survivor Series match is the big thing.
Right.
But I would want to see, especially on the co-branded shows, and they're only for a year, maybe somebody from the other brand challenge the other brand's champion.
Yep.
Just like how Jinder called out Brock Lesnar. Okay, cool. Champion versus champion would be interesting. But what if AJ Styles called out The Miz? What if AJ Styles called out Brock Lesnar? What if Kevin Owens, called out Brock Lesnar? What if Ziggler, and so on? What if Sasha Banks said, what, come Survivor Series, we only do it 4 times a year, so I'm calling my shot, and I'm bringing the World Women's Champion to SmackDown.
Right.
Obviously, it would be interesting to see how that happens. I mean, it doesn't really make sense to have 2 belts on the same show, but
I would love
there are
to
some
see
possibilities there.
I would love to see Nia Jax with the champion, with the title, and doing such, squashing the entire brand just to say, well, nobody here. Let's go see what's on the other show.
But she got to come back first, though.
Right.
Yeah, I don't even know if we're going to even talk about that, but apparently she should be returning soon. We'll see, whatever. But yeah, I like the booking like that. I think it's cool. I mean, I even the intrigue of AJ Styles being on Raw the next night after they made it seem like it was like a kind of a one and done. It was cool because the intrigue was there. I mean, leave the fans a little bit wondering instead of letting it all be so like transparent on Twitter that you're almost taking the fun out of it nowadays. I mean, these writers and bookers, they get paid so much money, but 9 times out of 10, it's just feels like the internet's booking some of these matches,
Yeah.
Well, I think part of the problem is that you're partially right. I think that the writing isn't very good, but I also think that that Microwave is probably doing a better job booking matches than a lot of the writers out there now.
It's an oven technically, but it has to book matches too.
Yeah, because the microwave isn't an oven.
Yes. It's a small oven, right?
Yeah, right. Well, there you go. But I do think that
doesn't go 400 degrees like Juvenile though. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you. No, but I do think that a lot of the stuff is not necessarily to appease the fans, but the WWE's got to know. Any business has got to know that social media is a real thing. It is we've seen it just happen with Jinder Mahal. Fans chanted in the arena, "That's too far," and then people on social media, got all up in arms in a very real way. And then what happened the next week? Oh, well, see, what I meant to say was Nakamura is pretty good, and also yay Japan.
That's true.
But I still hate him. That's true. And anybody tells you that, like, well, we don't book or we don't do matches for the fans. We do it for ourselves and hope that you like it. I don't doubt that, but I think it's truer to realize that you do have to know your audience and you do have to set some level of expectation for your audience. Because realistically, if people would just get their head out of their asses online and just say, like, listen, this is my brand. I'm going to watch it good, bad, or indifferent, and that's what it's going to be. Instead of just the New Japan sucks, or indie wrestling sucks, or WWE sucks, or whatever. If it's for you, cool. I used to be that guy that was like, hey, well, why are you watching Raw, man? You're fooling yourself. Wrestle Kingdom, I'll wake you up at 1:30, for Wrestle Kingdom.
Right.
But if you need Flow Rider on your pay-per-view, then that's cute for you. Have that. But, you can have Flow Rider and T-Pain and all of them. All of Florida.
Hey, you get on my nerves.
Roller coaster steps and all that bullshit. But it's like,
oh my God,
the world is a hell of a lot bigger, and I do think that But
no, go ahead.
I said the world's a hell of a lot bigger, and I do think that yes, the internet can book matches sometimes. I also think that WWE is very stubborn, and they have a plan. They must see it through, even though this is usually not really working out very well.
Yeah,
like Bray Wyatt recently.
Well, anyways, I don't know. I just rather had Brock Lesnar made his decision, and you know, Paul Heyman and them cut the promo, and you know, Jinder Mahal's not worthy, and you say all this stuff about he's a flimsy champion, and he will never be nobody's considered a real champion in nobody's book. I don't see how you absolutely accept a request from that. You know, I'm sure LeBron James is not on the internet like taking challenges from street ball players. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that's how you building a promo. But Kurt Angle came out in the beginning and said it's happening. So, you know, who cared about that? I'm sorry. I know Marcus said he liked it because it was a Paul Heyman promo. But I couldn't care for it. I didn't see any relevance for it. But you already been spoken for. There's no reason for you to be talking right now. There's nothing else relevant. All this you're saying and trying to and then, you know, two other points I want to bring up about this as well, too. This match happening, you know, does Jinder Mahal even stand a chance, or how should this match be booked?
And that's the sad thing, because when he's your quote unquote top champion in all of the WWE, having a quote WWE World Heavyweight title, which is supposed to be the best belt in the business, why would you want to risk squashing him? And will he remain the same after being squashed at Survivor Series, being your SmackDown World Heavyweight Champion? I don't know where he's like has everything to lose in a way.
Singh brothers will be a factor, no doubt.
Well, they'll probably get suplexed from the ring to the
oh my God, they're gonna take the craziest bump I've ever seen. I cannot wait for that. Actually, that is absolutely what I'm looking forward to. After the RKOs they was taking before, I cannot wait for them to take a few suplexes. I think Jinder Mahal wins this match, by the way.
Really?
I really do. I really do. I mean, one, the India tour is still a thing. So, you know, win by DQ, win by something sleazy, so be it. India is the destination. That's the gold mine. Keep that champion looking strong with the real belt at that.
So the original prediction was he loses the belt at Royal Rumble, correct?
Mine?
I think that's likely. I can go with that.
I say he definitely needs to have it near or very, very close to all the way up into Royal Rumble. That's what I said. And I believe Jamal piggybacked on that as well too. So as of right now, it's looking good. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the second roundabout in India.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, because he got it as soon as he won it. They went. So look, man, it's about money. It's about the Benjamins, and if you're gonna make that tour successful, you got to make that guy look strong. You have a whole nation watching, and if anything, just let the Singh brothers go to suplex. God, if Brock Lesnar suplexes them both at the same time, so be it. But Brock losing doesn't hurt him. I mean, him losing to Goldberg didn't hurt him at all. Apparently, people forgot that Goldberg was even here.
He wasn't there. I think we imagined that.
And he squashed him twice.
Yeah, people don't want to talk about that either.
I'm just saying. But Jinder
Mahal should win. I agree with that, but I also think that if a Raw guy threatening to try, like, what if Strowman came out and helped Jinder win?
Crazy.
What if, you know, all of a sudden, you know, you hear the music of somebody else or whatever, you know, whoever it may be that threatens, and Strowman apparently, you know, turned, so I guess. But that would be interesting to know that, like, when it's Survivor Series in like a month or so, and Braun Strowman is the reason why Jinder Mahal looks good, and Strowman cuts a promo on the Raw the following night talking about how he's going to be a real champion, and that's why he wants the belt and blah blah blah, because he's not a part-time, no different than Roman Reigns said. And then maybe that's when you insert Roman Reigns, assuming that he's able to recover. You insert Roman Reigns by having him come out of nowhere and spearing Brock Lesnar to hell, and then that reinserts him back in the title picture. Now they have a legit beef going into the Royal Rumble.
They gotta do something crazy.
So there are things. Yeah, they gotta do something crazy. They still have some pieces on the table.
And look, let me get to this next topic real quick so we can transition a little bit. And it tails off of this. Two things I'm gonna ask. Number one, do y'all believe the team captains being announced? Does that mean anything to you guys?
Not at all.
Personally, I don't like the Survivor Series match. So
yeah, no.
I wish they were more. No, it just doesn't make any sense.
Okay. Second thing is, first the women's match. Team SmackDown obviously only had 5 people, so we already knew who's going to be on that team. Raw, Alicia Fox is the team captain. 4 other people got to be selected. So who I'm gonna guess? Nia Jax,
If
Bailey,
she returns.
Bailey. Oh my God, what are they gonna do here? Now that I think about it,
Emma.
no, Asuka, Nia Jax, Sasha Banks,
See,
Bailey.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is the thing what I don't like about Survivor Series. It's too much who's face, who's heel, what's going on. Because it's like, all right, if you got Alicia Fox as your captain, you want to think this Raw women's match is going to be a whole bunch of heels on it because your captain's a heel. And I'm assuming that if Becky is your face on the SmackDown side, so it's going to be a whole bunch of faces. So are we doing a heel versus face match? I mean, it's just going to be too conflicting.
They just have to make sure there's counterparts for you. So yeah, Becky, Charlotte faces, Naomi face, Carmella heel, Tamina heel. So on the other side, you're going to have 3 heels and 2 faces.
So the heels for Raw will be Alicia Fox, Emma, and who's your third heel?
Nia Jax.
I don't think that's necessarily the case.
Or
you do not put Asuka in this match. Actually,
no, I don't think so.
You don't. You don't.
Like honestly, I think of Survivor Series, the traditional Survivor Series match, as like an all-star game.
It is.
You may have 2 people or from different teams that are rivals within the same conference, but they put all that BS aside for the all-star game and go out and have their team win.
You wish.
I don't.
You wish it was. You wish it was like that now. you
that's kind of what it is. I mean, like last year, and I was there for that one. I don't necessarily remember it being well, actually towards the end it kind of broke down. But it generally was hey, no matter what, this is the team and we're gonna go get it done.
Yeah.
And then
I haven't felt that way since Team Johnny versus Team Teddy.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
But to the point that we was making about earlier, you know, when it comes down to the men's team now, you absolutely do have to start considering that the 5 selections of the people are going to be people who are like, you know, maybe talented or all-star caliber, but don't have storyline. So then you will have these mysterious other set of people who won't have anything to do that you say, all right, they better somehow be inserted into other pictures. I'm surprised it's not a Survivor Series tag team match thing like they did before as well too. That doesn't look like that's going to be a thing, but I don't know. As of right now, the building of Survivor Series, meh, I guess at most. I'm gonna with 3 weeks out, I would like to see a little bit more
to be determined
brought about. And I will take a good read of caution and let it play out. But so right now, meningitis needs to hit again. So
of the big 4 pay-per-views, I would say the Survivor Series. I would replace that with Money in the Bank.
Thank you.
All day.
All
day. Another suggestion I was going to make, and you guys may hate me for this, but why not Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon be team captains for their brand?
I thought they was going to do that at first.
And actually wrestle.
I cringed when I saw Kurt Angle wrestle, even though, you know, and I know y'all reviewed what happened at TLC, but I still kind of cringe because I just didn't want him to break his neck or anything like that while he's doing his moves. But I know maybe just me, just with the injury history with him, maybe I'm just being too pessimistic with that. But I'll take that.
They cleared him, and Daniel Bryan is not cleared. So
yep, interesting. Wow, as he would say.
Yeah. Wow. No. Anyway, but
I guess.
last thing for WWE, and then we get into some news and wrap this up. What do you guys think about oh my God, I'm forgetting the hashtag
Under the Siege or something
Under the Siege, yes. Under Siege, yes.
Under Siege, yeah.
Is Steven Seagal coming back? What's going on?
All right. So, apparently, SmackDown roster invaded Raw at the end of the conclusion of Raw. So all their roster came about, dominated the room, the locker room. Everybody, not everybody, because Asuka and Brock Lesnar was not on that pile of dump. Braun Strowman, I guess, is hurt, maybe, and Randy Orton, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and Charlotte did not make the trip. But the Under Siege thing, a lot of the wrestlers have been cutting promos on their social media about it as well, which is cool. Because the lack thereof talking smack to do so, I think this was a great thing that they did that. It keeps intrigued there. Raw did not retaliate on SmackDown, which I think was also really cool for them to sell the injuries, in other words. But just wondering, you know, is it really going to have to go into the hands of each wrestler in order to sell this? Considering that we just talked about the card as it stands now, it's not much intrigue, but is it really going to take in the hands of the wrestlers in order to do this now? Because that seemed to be what TLC kind of did. I mean, yeah, meningitis hit and replacements hit, but AJ Styles had to cut this promo about facing Finn Balor. The Miz had to cut the promo about now facing Kurt Angle. And it worked because it added to the storyline. But you know, is this what we're asking for, or is this what we need? Considering that talking smack is not there anymore.
Let me ask this to Krabby to answer that question. So Krabby, go back to your All-Star Game component that you made a comparison to. When you have people trying to make the All-Star Game, what do you see? What type of promotions do you see, no matter what sport it is?
Well, since most of the All-Star Games are fan votes, it's really a popularity contest,
right?
So that's, you know, kind of what you got to do there.
Yep.
I think as far as the wrestlers selling things on social media, I do think that is what should have been done in the first place. WWE has a YouTube channel that they really don't use for original content anymore. And I really think those like 2 or 3 minute shorts or whatever is perfect for them to cut promos out while they're off of television during Raw. The YouTube channel that WWE has really should be more of a second screen experience as you're trying to get caught up with backstage shenanigans and stuff like that, and post-match reactions. Post-match reactions that happened during TLC were just time wasters, and they really should have happened off air or off camera on YouTube or something like that. So as far as Talking Smack is concerned, I don't think that Talking Smack was like the end all for for the outlet for avenues in and allowing wrestlers to get their promo time in, because there is still the other hours of the day. If you can film ride along, if you can cut a 2 minute promo on whatever, but they just don't do it, and I don't I guess, but I don't understand it.
I mean, it's just I really think that if you have an opportunity to put yourself over, you need to utilize it by whatever platform you can. And Talking Smack was a good tool for it, and it helped people such as Baron Corbin have, like I said in the past. And I think this is an opportunity now for them to add to the storyline, because they're not going to there's not enough time on TV for them to give each individual that platform in order to sell this. So I'm cool with it, but. That's all I got on that. What you got for us on the news for the week? I know Jeff Jarrett being drunk. Let's hear it.
I actually skipped that because I assumed that Aaron, we already knew that was a thing before he before when they broke up originally, Global Force and Hootie. So I only have
Hootie.
Do we care?
Survivors. What'd you say about Do We Care?
I have two things.
Okay.
Number one, a little bit more insight as to why specifically Nia Jax has been on a sabbatical.
Yeah, I care.
See.
Okay. So according to Sports Illustrated, Jax did not like the booking with her losing clean to Sasha Banks at TLC. So she consulted her cousin, The Rock, who basically said, like, hey, man, if you're not in it, then walk away. She did. And instead of taking her time out on Twitter to, show her displeasure, she took a leave of absence. Alexa Bliss has confirmed that she took a leave of absence, breather from the travel. And that be completely true. But good for her for standing up for what she believes in. I can't say that she's wrong on that one either. The second thing is, for Do We Care, Justin Gabriel talks about his time on Total Divas. Do we care?
PJ Black.
Wait, he was on there? Okay.
I guess so.
Yeah, I'm down for this.
Yep, 2 for 2.
So apparently, Justin Gabriel was dating JoJo on Total Divas.
I remember that.
Was he? I thought she was dating like some other guy that wasn't even in WWE.
No, very first season. It was like very brief because it was like a double date thing that they was trying to do. That I don't know where it went.
Right. So Justin Gabriel did this interview with Pancakes and Power Slams podcast. Sure. And basically he says, quote, I didn't want to be a part of it, Total Divas. They filmed some stuff and I started talking to JoJo because I thought she was a pretty cool person. Yes. I never realized she was so young. She was like 18 or 19 at the time. No. And we went through that route, dating, and they were like, hey, do you want to be on a show? And I was like, yeah, sure. What do I have to do? And they said, nothing. Just go on dates. So they take film, and which never aired, and we did so many cool things. And I said, like, I don't think I could do this. She was like 19, and I'm 30. And they're like, okay, well, you got to break up with her on TV. And he didn't, though they did, he didn't like the perception of the show because it made her look like this womanizing douche. When the real thing is that they wouldn't let him be himself, and he was just uncomfortable around the camera. So, yeah, it was partly because he was 30 and she was 19, but it's also partly because they would stick cameras in his face every time he would want to say something personal. And he didn't like that whole reality, the fakeness of reality TV. That's Do We Care for this week.
That's interesting because I know reality TV is some part staged and they try to act like it's
some
a real
parts,
thing, but
some parts.
Well,
you have to imagine if somebody owns a reality show that they want total control of it. They don't want it to go off the rails. I mean, quite frankly, anytime anybody goes off the rails at anything, Vince McMahon doesn't like it.
Yeah, true.
So, for these companies that can't, really manage off the rail type of comment and able to bounce back from it, I mean, got to be in control of that. Can't take a PR hit and expect to survive out here, So,
right.
Yeah, that's Do We Care? And I believe that's news as well. And then that's topics. And yeah.
That's the show.
That's the show.
Before we go, though, I wanted to ask this question to you. It could be a very short answer. You don't have to elaborate. 2 teams, I'm going to ask you first. When you look at a wrestling match, and I'm just thinking about the AJ Styles Finn Balor, is the in-ring action more important to you or the storyline?
I love storytelling. I believe storytelling is one of the main reasons I like watching wrestling. Because it's a book. And the in-ring action is poetry in motion. So I don't think one necessarily outdoes the other because as much as the story can be built up, Sting and Hogan, great storyline behind it. The match itself, absolutely horrible. Which is a big man at the end. So they have to complement each other to a substantial point to be a happy ending for me. But there's a lot of give and take into it. I love a really great match. With no storylines. Indie wrestling, for instance, a lot of it doesn't have storylines, but you always get a lot of good matches. But as long as they complement each other with a greater purpose of entertaining the fans, I'm happy.
Cool, Krabby.
Short answer is I don't disagree with 2 Chainz there. It's just that I will always take in-ring work over promo time and pre-tape packages and stuff like that. Okay. I think the story that's told is told from bell to bell, and that's what I'm here to see. I don't care about the awesome video package that precedes the match. I really don't care while they're fighting. I just want to see the wrestling. That's why I'm here.
Gotcha.
That's always why I'll be here. Shut up and wrestle.
And I got another comment to that. You talking about pre-tape promos? I'm absolutely a fan of a on-the-spot hell of a promo, like improv too, and it just works. I mean, that right there is absolutely catches fire. I mean, I can say it enough. Cedric Alexander work on the Indies is absolutely crazy because he doesn't do much talking, but when he does grab the mic, it's short and sweet, and then he backs it right up, and it's absolutely some of the best stuff you see.
Absolutely.
If they ban microphones, I would be okay with that.
If they what?
If they banned microphones, like no promo. if they actually started the show with wrestling, I would watch more Raw more often. Matches didn't go just 5 to 8 minutes, and they went 20, and actually told a story.
Mm-hmm.
I would watch Raw more often. But as it is right now, I don't like it. That's not my style personally, and that's why I watch a lot more indie wrestling than New Orleans, for example. People are making a big deal about that because WrestleMania tickets will be going on sale very shortly. I don't want to see the pageantry. I'm only here for the wrestling. So if I were to go to New Orleans, which is not going to happen, I would see almost everything but WrestleMania.
He'll be there.
Will I? Well, I'm definitely not going
there. He'll be there. We'll be there too. We will be there. Yeah. That's the point. Sellers, you have an answer to your own question? What matters most to you? Storytelling. Because it's in the beginning of our interest theme on here. It's all about storytelling. Is your direct quote on here? If you don't know,
it is true. I'm a huge storyteller, and even though, and the reason why I know y'all probably already talked about the match, I can't consider that match the match of the year.
Oh no!
If it's just put together like that, and I understand that what you're saying, Krabby, is about the in-ring work from belt to belt. I understand that, but to me, in order to have a match of the year, I need to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And the beginning doesn't have to be a pre-taped, show or pre-taped, pre-tape moment where they're talking or whatever. But I just need to have a moment where I have a reason why you're fighting. Excuse me. I'm being sold on why you're fighting. And at the end, you don't need to fight anymore. I just need that in my life.
It was a too sweet moment for sure. But yeah, match of the year, nah.
Okay, first of all, I see what you did there, and I hate you for it. Secondly, do you really think that this is even the conversation for match of the year?
No. I just know it got overhyped because it's a dream match, blah blah blah, the too sweet moment and everything.
Oh, I don't think Marks is going to mark out. You know it. You already know.
But at the same time, when Marks mark out, or you just see reviews come out, this match was an A+ match. It was missing something for me. Like you just said, AJ Styles, we need you to come in because somebody else is sick. Oh, okay, dream match. It came out of nowhere.
It did what it was supposed to do.
But it did. It did what it's supposed to do in the ring. But just thinking about, I need that beginning, middle, and the end. It doesn't even have to go into threes.
Yeah. All right. So, anybody else see anything else before closing remarks?
Nope, I'm good.
See you all Friday for Nova Pro Pumpkin Spice Lariats at the Annandale Volunteer Fire Department on Columbia Pike in downtown Annandale, Virginia. Kickoff show from 6:30.
I'm getting me some.
And the stores open at 7. Show starts at 8. So
what time?
That's going to be a hell of a time. It's 6:30, right?
Oh yeah, 6:30. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tune in for that good old kickoff show, so we can get.
One of us will be there. I don't know who else, but
I'll be there.
I will be there.
Mr. Silly Sellers should be there.
I wish I could, man. It's a birthday celebration I gotta do. Mother-in-law's birthday.
Fair enough.
You gotta do that. Fair enough.
Fair enough. Hold on.
But
hold on. What time is that celebration, huh? We don't let people just get off easy. We harassed everybody last month until that place got packed. And indeed it did. Sell out show. Anyway, yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there. Jordan Grace will be there. Fred Yehi will be there. DJ Z will be there. Sanjay Duck will be there.
Yeah, him versus John Sanjay, and that's going to be nuts. The mixed tag is going to be Angela Lane and
Dominic
Guarini, yeah, versus Kermit and Brittany Blake. That's going to be insane.
Bring it, my man. Sugar Dunkington. I already called him out. He has to stop by the pre-show. I need him. I need him to come chat with us a little bit. So hopefully we get him there.
And then Bo and Logan have open challenges.
I'm just trying to figure out why Bo and them aren't trying to challenge each other. Or why Bo isn't trying to challenge him. I don't know. The Juggernaut's looking for work. I'll plug that real quick. Two, also, stop by my buddy's table, the gated community. Stop by the merch table. Hella deals, specials is going on. It's a list of things. I tweeted it. But definitely stop by the merch table. These guys is doing some crazy work on the indie scenes right now. Even enough to bring in Deanna Palazzo for the next show, which is absolutely bananas that they brought Veda Scott some help. So those guys, man, protect their investments, man. Better than you. I mean, Gated community.
You may not respect their message, but you have to respect their work ethic. Community, Ed Dow and the crew have been absolutely on fire. So you definitely check it out because they, again, great guys. Though you may disagree with them, but quality merch, and that's what you always want.
Yeah, and we'll be in the gated community. I know about that. I'm pulling up in a Ferrari with them for the next show. So get in where you fit in, huh? But anyway, no, real talk. Check out their merch. They got the house. They got shirts, merch for Logan. The 1%, the trifecta, pins. They got why do I keep wanting to get this wrong? The 32 cards, posters.
52 cards?
Excuse me? 52.
Is that 52 cards?
52, yes, I'm sorry. 52. Faye Jackson, the 1%. Just check it out. The guy's got a lot going on. Mention the Big O Belt podcast. I'll work a deal with you for sure. But yeah, tomorrow, 8 o'clock, Ryo joins the show. Going to be fun. This guy, seen him when he was. We'll get into it tomorrow, but I can't wait. Can't wait. But yeah, everybody tune in tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock, Friday, be at the show. Listen to the show on your way to the show, 6:30. Be at the show, Annandale Fire Department, 7:30. Nova Pro, they're going to do their thing, and it's only going to keep getting better. So be there. All right, so tuning out. Thanks for tuning in.